Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back on some Modern Warfare 2019 today. We're playing a little bit of this because I wanted to go over what made this game so great and how this game actually revolutionized Call of Duty. Now, in this video, we're going to cover everything that, they've changed in Call of Duty and what separated this COD from every other Call of Duty. I just tried to hit my paddle and I couldn't find it, and I don't have a paddle. You guys know my feelings about this game. I did not like it. I don't like it. I actually think it's one of the worst Call of Duty games ever made. In terms of multiplayer, that is. And I also think Warzone heavily carried this game. I don't think the multiplayer would be as fun if we just had the multiplayer and we all weren't locked down in our houses. But that's not to say this game didn't have great things about it. I'm aware that this game had great things about it. Everybody loves this game, or at least most people do. I think a lot of the casual player base, they love this game. So I'm kind of in the minority of not really liking this Call of Duty game. But one thing I will give this Call of Duty game props for is the campaign. Now, this campaign was absolutely legendary. It's probably one of the best campaigns we've ever gotten in Call of Duty, and it kind of brought the franchise back to form. This campaign was gritty. It was realistic. It actually felt like you were in the story for once. It's not some garbage campaign like we got in Black Ops 7. It actually feels like a military shooter and like you're actually in the military. Bro, this guy's using launchers in 2026 on Modern Warfare. But I think that's always been Modern Warfare's strong suit, is the campaign, especially from Infinity Ward. Now, Sledgehammer, it's a little bit questionable because they did make Modern Warfare 3, although I don't think they had a full development cycle to make that. There's no way. But Infinity Ward, they do really well with campaigns. And getting back to the realism of this campaign, it actually felt like you were in the story, like you were emotionally attached to the characters. And that's something we haven't seen in a Call of Duty campaign in a long time, especially with the newer ones. The newer campaigns are complete garbage. And there was even emotional moments in the campaign. The game literally starts out with a terrorist attack. If you guys remember the opening mission, that guy has a bomb strapped to his chest. I think it was in Piccadilly, if I remember correctly. So right out of the gate, the campaign starts out hot. And then you probably have one of the best Call of Duty campaign missions ever made in this game, which was Clean House, where you go sweep a house. And that mission just gets your heart beating. Going through that house, trying not to kill civilians. It was just intense, and that mission will go down in one of Call of Duty's best missions ever made. But that mission, I would say, is right up there with No Russian and Gilly in the Mist. It's one of the best campaign missions ever made. And then later in the story, you play as Hadid and Farah when they were kids, and that gets intense too. That mission was insane as well. So overall, if I'm gonna rate the campaign in this game, I honestly would probably give it a 10 out of 10. It was that good. And they haven't been able to capture that since this game. Modern Warfare 2 did a pretty good job, but it still was not on the level of this game. Dude, the Claymores! I've been killed by 30 Claymores this game. Oh my gosh, if that guy would have Claymored us again, I would have raged. Now, the area where I didn't like this game is clearly the multiplayer. If you haven't guessed by my last video, if you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. I just tried to scuff jump. I don't have my scuff, dude. But there was also some good things that did come in the multiplayer of this game. I won't deny that. I know a lot of people out there just think I hate this game. I know this game's multiplayer gets a lot of praise, so I am gonna say some good things about this multiplayer as well. But I think my favorite things about the multiplayer of this game is definitely the graphics and the gun sounds. They are so good in this game. This guy's up in the window. All of the guns sound good. The graphics look great. I don't know why we ever strayed away from this. This was probably peak graphics in Call of Duty that we've ever had. Now all of the new Call of Duties kind of look like a mobile game, and all of the guns look plastic. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but every weapon looks plastic for some reason, especially in Black Ops 7. It started kind of in Modern Warfare 3, I believe. This guy's a chopper gunner. Okay. He's going insane. But everything looks and sounds great on this game. And then another good thing they added was the gunsmith. That was definitely new. That definitely brought the franchise forward. That was the first time we've ever seen anything like that. Back in the day, we could only have 2 attachments on our guns, and this allowed us to have 5, I believe. And then it just kept getting crazier from there. If you guys remember in Vanguard, you could have 10, which is a little bit overkill. I hope they never do that again. I would even be down with going back to 2 attachments. I kind of like the simpler days. But the gunsmith did change some things up that we were not used to seeing in Call of Duty, and I think it brought a lot of people to the franchise. I think they really enjoyed that because Call of Duty is like a gun-focused game, and being able to customize your weapon to that extent was a pretty good addition to this game, especially for the people that like actually are gun people in real life. I know they love the gunsmith. Now, the next thing they did bring to this game was the battle pass, and I think Fortnite is kind of the culprit of that, as you can imagine, because Fortnite was the biggest game at the time when this came out. And speaking of battle passes, are you guys burnt out on the battle pass system? I've seen a lot of people kind of saying they are, and to be honest, I kind of am too, because the battle pass kind of makes games like a job, which I don't like, because you have to log in. You buy something and then you have to log in to get all the stuff you bought. I'd rather just buy it up front. And then lately, the battle passes have been kind of weak. Like, they suck. They don't have any good cosmetics anymore. If you look at Black Ops 7's battle pass right now, it is so bad. There is nothing cool in that battle pass whatsoever. Now, that might be because we complained about everything being so unrealistic and them doing too many collabs and all of that. So that could be the reason. Who knows what would have happened if we still had all the collabs we were gonna get. But the battle passes lately have been pure slop. So I'd be cool if they got rid of battle passes. Oh my gosh! And then they also added crossplay to this game, which was the greatest thing ever. Because I remember my friends and stuff, they were starting to get into PC gaming, and I was still on my PS4. So it was dope to be able to play with them on my PS4 while they had PCs. Then I eventually got my PC finally. But I still think that's good to be able to play with everybody, and that's one thing that this game added that we can thank this game for. Oh, it does come with some downsides. As we all know, there's so many cheaters on this game, and they don't know how to fix it. Okay, I'm lagging. I think we just lagged out. Okay, we found another game. Unfortunately, we lagged out of that one. I think I'm gonna try sniping. How did that not kill him? Now, they also really changed the gameplay of Call of Duty with this game. This was the first game to ever add tac sprint, which was completely new. We've never seen anything like it before, at least in Call of Duty. But that was the first time we ever saw it, and they were pushing for that heavily. They love the tac sprint system, which I think can be pretty dope, but it has to be handled right. I think this game's movement was honestly kind of perfectly balanced, in my opinion. Not in the sense of like gameplay, but in the sense of like casual versus sweat. Like, it was fast, yes, and you could slide cancel, but it wasn't so insanely fast how it is now that the casuals can't keep up. Now, there was definitely some glitches with like the stims, but they got that fixed, and once that was fixed, the movement was perfect in my opinion. I would love to have this movement in the next Modern Warfare 4. So we had tac sprint as well as slide canceling. If you guys don't remember, slide canceling was actually an exploit that they just never fixed. People just kind of accepted it as the gameplay, which I'm not mad about because it's super fun to do. So that was something new that we could enjoy with this game, and we haven't seen tac sprint removed ever since. I know people say it was removed in Black Ops 7, but it's not. You just have to throw on a perk. Oh no, I'm stunned out of my mind. He's right there. There we go, finally. And one thing I did like about this game is the kill streaks were actually good. Now, before this game, we were kind of on a dry spell of score streaks being just absolutely terrible. They were not good, and we finally got kill streaks with this game, which was cool, because that's how it was in the OG Modern Warfare games. I'm glad they brought it back in this game. I personally like kill streaks more than score streaks, and it was fun to be able to use like the chopper gunner and things again, and they were actually good. And then probably one of the best modes that they ever brought to this game was gunfight. And ever since we got gunfight, I don't think we've ever gotten it back to the extent of how it was in Modern Warfare. I remember Vanguard had something similar to it, but I think it wasn't the same. I remember you going into like some middle circle thing. I don't know exactly what it was, but it wasn't gunfight. What? How did that guy not die? But I do think that's a mode that needs to come back. I would even take like the Modern Warfare 3 from the OG Modern Warfare 3 that I forget what it was called, but it was like 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3. If they brought that back, we'd be so up. That mode was so fun. They also brought in like a realism mode that personally I did not like it, but I know that changed the game for this game as well, because there is a lot of people that love milsims in this game. So I know they were eating that up, where you had to like turn your night vision goggles on and everything. There was no HUD or nothing. It was like basically hardcore. I didn't even see that guy. And one of the most important things that we can all agree on is this game stayed grounded compared to Black Ops 7. Oh boy, I don't know how anybody would think we'd go from this to Black Ops 7. Now, I'm not saying like I hate either of them. I don't really care if we have skins like in Modern Warfare or if we have like the crazy crossovers like we do in Black Ops 7. I'm cool with either of them, but personally, I prefer having some crossovers. I did like the Halloween skins in this game, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as well as I think it was Jigsaw in this game, but those are super cool. I'm always a sucker for Halloween skins, but I don't think that was in Modern Warfare's life cycle. I think that was in the Cold War. I actually don't know. That actually might have been this game. I don't know, but that's a good thing that this game did, was they kept it grounded for the people that like actually like military immersion, and the skins weren't so crazy that it was like unbelievable. So if I think they kept that style in Modern Warfare 4, I think people would be pretty okay with it. Now, we do have to talk about the elephant in the room because it did change the landscape for Call of Duty forever, and that's SBMM. I know a lot of people do like it. I am not one of those people. I've complained about it for years. I'm sure you've heard it on my channel, especially if you watch me a lot, or if you've been around watching my streams. I complain about it all of the time. Now, this was the first game that ever cranked it up to how heavy it is now, and I think it's done irreparable damage to Call of Duty, but that's just my opinion. Now, the reason I say that is because I understand why skill-based matchmaking is a thing. This guy's frying me. Like, it's not fun to get onto a game and just get dunked on for an hour, but I feel like Call of Duty isn't so difficult where skill-based matchmaking needs to be a thing. Like, Call of Duty's not that difficult of a game, like compared to like Fortnite, where it kind of makes sense because if you don't know how to build in that game, you're kind of cooked all the time. But in this game, you kind of just run around, point and shoot. So I feel like we could deal without it, no? Of course, they could keep in like the bottom tier SBMM where you have like a disability or something. It'll put you with people that are kind of like in that skill area. They can keep that, but I think it should like disappear after you get to a certain point, and it should just be based off of your connection. It's probably one of the worst things Call of Duty's ever added, in my opinion, and it's changed the game forever. And with the SBMM, they've also added disbanding lobbies in this game. And that was the first time we've seen that too. Back in the old CODs, you could just keep playing in the same lobby over and over and over until you backed out. Personally, I don't really care about that anymore because I don't ever talk in the game chat, so I'm not gonna be like talking garbage to anybody or making friends. Dude, this guy. See, this is why I hated this game. Look at this dweeb sitting in the corner just waiting, bro. This is why I hated this game. Now, the last thing I'm gonna say about how this game revolutionized Call of Duty as well as the FPS genre is definitely Warzone. When this game came out, Battle Royales were like the hottest thing ever. Everybody was playing Fortnite. I think Apex was out. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it was. But Warzone took the world over by storm. It was incredible. It was probably one of the best VR experiences I've ever had. And they also had a little spin on it, which made it super fun. This was the first game, well, first VR game, I should say, that had like a gulag where you would have to fight and try to get yourself back. Like, we've never seen anything like that before, and it was super fun, super fresh. They also brought in loadouts where you could actually customize your weapons and you didn't have to use just ground loot. You had perks, and I think that's what kind of separates Warzone from other BRs. If they don't have that, it's kind of like just another generic BR. I think that's the problem with Blackout right now is, I mean, it's a BR, but there's nothing special about it. Everything we've seen in that game, we've seen in every other Battle Royale. That's why I think Blackout is failing, because nobody wants to play a traditional BR anymore, especially now after we've had Warzone. And if you do, you're not hopping onto Call of Duty of all things. So I think loadouts and like perks and stuff are kind of needed in Warzone for it to succeed at all. The implementation of buy stations also helped that game separate itself from other BRs. You could buy perks, loadouts. What else could you buy? You could buy your teammates back. So that was different to other BRs. And now you kind of see a lot of the BR games taking stuff from Warzone. I know Fortnite has like buy stations where you can upgrade your weapons and things. And they also have reboot vans. And then the armor system in Warzone was really good. Now in Blackout, they have like the tiered armor system. And I hated that. I think this armor system that we have in Warzone is way better. It just makes everything more simple. All you have to worry about is if you have plates or not, and then putting them on. You don't have to worry about this damage mitigation stuff with like different tiers of armor, and it just made looting like more streamlined. And then last, the slide canceling in Warzone was super fun. Now, nowadays, it might have gotten a little bit too fast, but in Modern Warfare 19, it was perfect. The movement on Warzone and in Modern Warfare 19 was just so good. I wish we could get this movement back. This guy's so annoying, dude. He's killed me 100 times with his stupid shotgun. Imagine using a fire breath shotgun in Modern Warfare 19 in 2026. Like, buddy, get a grip on life. But that is gonna do it for this video, guys. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.